Hello, my name is Keith Bailey, here to do my NFL Week 3 picks. I did terrible last week, 7 and 9 overall, but on account of terrible, I did better than a lot of other people, which is kind of sad. So without further ado, let's get to it. First game, Redskins at Giants. I'm picking the New York Giants to win 27-24. Redskins defense is better than a lot of people expected. So I definitely have to give them credit there. But I think the Giants get the first one of the season. Next game is the Bengals at the Ravens. I'm picking Baltimore. I think the Ravens also get off the schneid. They get their first one of the season, and the Cincinnati Bengals, I don't see the Bengals going to 3-0 for the second consecutive year. Next game, Raiders at Browns. I saw firsthand what the Browns defense is capable of, and I don't think the Raiders offense can be able to comprehend that. So I think Cleveland takes the win by a score of 20-17 over the Raiders. Next up, we got the Saints at Panthers, especially if Drew Brees is out. I mean, even if he was playing, I'm picking Carolina in this game to go to 3-0. I think the Panthers take this game by a score of, I'd say, 27-17 over the Saints. I don't know what's going on with New Orleans, but this team is not the team they were a couple of years ago. Next game, Falcons at Cowboys. I'm picking the Falcons. Pretty obvious, I would say. I mean, the Cowboys are down Dez Bryant and now Tony Romo, and they have Brandon Weeden throwing the ball. And that's easy pickings for a Dan Quinn-led football team. Falcons get to 3-0. Surprise 3-0 team of the year. Buccaneers at Texans, picking the Texans to get their first win. I'm picking a lot of teams to get their first win this year. They're playing winnable opponents, and this is definitely one of those. I think the Texans get the win. Colts at Tennessee, another game where I think the Colts get off the schneid. As much as I hope Tennessee would has a chance to win this game, which I know they do, Colts are too good of a football team to go to 0-3, and I think the Indianapolis Colts get the win by a score of, let's say, 27-20 over Tennessee. As for Texans Buccaneers, I think Houston takes that game by a score of 21-14. Next up, we got, if my page will load, Jaguars at Patriots. No, okay. Patriots are going to win, I would say, 41-20. I mean, it's pretty obvious who's going to win that game. But of course, it's the NFL, and as we learned last week, after what happened last week, the Jags can go into New England and stomp them. Who knows anymore? But I think the Patriots take that. Chargers at Vikings. I'm going with the Chargers here to beat the Vikings. San Diego is a good football team, and it's not like they get blown out in their games. I mean, they won their Week 1 matchup, and they barely lost to a good Bengals team. And Minnesota still has yet to prove themselves a little bit. I know they won last week, but that loss to San Francisco 49ers, especially after the way the 49ers looked last week, we don't know about the Vikings yet. But the Chargers have more credibility than them at this point. San Diego gets the win 30-20. Eagles at Jets. Picking the Eagles. I think that the Eagles will get the win by a score of 27-21. I think it's one of those cases where I don't know another team finally gets a win, and I don't see the Jets going to 3-0. Next up, we got Steelers at Rams. Picking the Steelers to win. Steelers have a pretty good offense, and St. Louis has shown that they're a little Jekyll and Hyde. I think the Steelers take it, let's say, 28-21 over St. Louis. 49ers at Cardinals. Picking the Cardinals, especially with the 49ers look last week. That was terrible. I think the Cardinals win 35-17. I mean, Cardinals are rolling on all cylinders. Bills at Dolphins. I'm picking the Buffalo Bills to win by a score of 20-10. Miami's offense has been a no-show in 2 games. They barely have put up points, and it's kind of pathetic. It's a little upsetting if you're a Dolphins fan. I think the Bills get to 2-1. Bears at Seahawks. Give me a break. Seattle gets their first win of the season. Do I have any 0-3 teams right now? Who do I have going to 0-3? Wow, I don't. I have the Saints going to 0-3. I think that might be it. Like I said, a lot of 0-2 teams playing many winnable games this week. I think the Seahawks take this win by a score of, 38-17. I mean, it's kind of obvious who's going to win that. Broncos at Lions. I think Denver gets the win here by a score of 24-17 over Detroit. I think the Lions put up a little bit of a fight. And then Kansas City at Green Bay. Green Bay gets revenge for the Chiefs beating them and ending their undefeated streak back in 2011. I think the Packers end up getting the win here by a score of 31-21 over Kansas City. Those are my picks. I picked a couple upsets this week. I'm taking a chance on some teams because I realized that I've been picking the favorites a little bit in week 2, and that didn't look so good. That didn't look good for a lot of people though. So we'll see how I do this week. Those are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys all next time.